Well, hi, Jewels, I'm back with 41 Years of Mills and Boone, and it's part of the Flat in Notting Hill series. Now, I've already reviewed Your Bed or Mine by Joss Wood, which I actually enjoyed. It was rare to have a Mills and Boone character who totally owned her sexuality, and this book is actually no different, and it's actually nice reading contemporary novels set in London, because it obviously is my city. So, the Flat in Notting Hill, Izzy, Tori, and Poppy. If I can track down Izzy's, I'll read that, okay? But here we go with this is Poppy's story. Okay, so it's called Enemies with Benefits. Modern Tempted. Okay, so Poppy Spence has discovered that there's one thing worse than Christmas alone in her flat, and that's spending it with Isaac Blair, her sworn enemy turned reluctant flatmate. And that's not because she knows, so he knows all her secrets, but because of his sexy sin smile and taunt physique, making her as hot and all flustered, despite an icy cold outside. As a casual hookup is just the thing she needs. It certainly breaks the simmering tension between them. The trouble is with their history, this is going to be anything but casual. So, Poppy is a doctor, okay, specialising actually, ironically enough, okay, in gynecological issues. However, her sex life is non-existent, absolutely non-existent. And right now at this point, okay, she's alone in her flat in Notting Hill. Everyone is kind of spreading their wings and kind of going start to kind of move on. uh Izzy is in South Africa with her boyfriend, which is nice that they're still going well. And this bit here, okay, this bit here, right, right, I just found a mouse in her house, right, which would take her on her own with this less desirable flatmate with her because she was a modern evolved woman and not because she was the only person around to do it. Seriously, it was fine. She took another decent mouthful of wine. Mr. Mouse would wait for her to cheer herself up and decorate the tree. Putting a hand in the bag, she pulled out a bright red and silver bauble and almost cried. This was the first housewarming present Tori had brought her. Tori had always brought the best presents. She had an innate sense of style, and probably missed her. Right. No, more wine fortified her and put a fuzzy barrier between her and her waving emotions. It's okay, I'm a grown-up, I can be alone. She read in an old tattered magazine in a doctor's on-call office about a famous reluctant, reclusive actress who said that one thing, Dem is Swedish, okay? Probably couldn't remember. That's Greta Garbo, by the way. Right, and then probably just kind of mucks around with the baubles and puts them on her ears and just has fun, because she's drunk. We've all done this. And Isaac walks in. It's really, really funny. Right. Isaac, she knew that voice anywhere, half posh, half street, all annoying, a very typical, strange kind of skill he always had, always turned up like her most embarrassing moments. Right. She went stay shivering, bringing her arms down to her sides, as she ranted out loud about her pathetic misery and loneliness. Damn right she had. So, and Isaac, he basically owns bars. He goes all around the world. Um, running bars, and he's very, very good at it. So there you go. But the fact is, okay, Poppy is so drunk that she actually kind of spills all to Isaac, and I don't know why, but this is a conversation that everyone has repeated once. What's one thing I absolutely love about Louisa George is that her dialogue feels so real, even though it's a Mills and Boon novel. The things she has with her friends, her peers, Isaac, they are things that we've all had at one point, especially under the influence of cheap wine. Here you go. Right. I worked so hard for so long and I just want more. Is there more? What more is there? What am I missing? How do you, have fun without getting messed up in the process? Do you understand? She wasn't sure she did. Not a lot of it made sense now, except that Isaac had come close and was looking at her with those blues to blue eyes. Okay, I was a little out of focused. And she wanted to stroke his hair, and then she wanted to breathe in his smell. It was smoky, very masculine. Yummy. She wanted to breathe him in and stroke his hair. She is so drunk. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Right. But the fact is that what Poppy doesn't know is actually Isaac likes her. But the thing is, Poppy is her brother, so his best friend. Okay, so there's that dynamic going on. They've grown up together. They're more, well, that's the thing. It's the fact is that you'd think that they should be more like brother and sister, and they kind of started that way, but they kind of evolved past that. And it is interesting seeing it from Isaac's point of view, because Isaac's family structure is the fact is that his mother wasn't particularly that great. His father passed away. His mother then remarried, and in Isaac's eyes, got a new family. But even though Isaac's own mother said, "I should have done better by you," I just couldn't really at the time, and actually apologises. That's his issue. Okay, that's we just have to sort it. You know, because this is a Mills and Boone. Okay, right. Mhm. He could control his libido, but he couldn't guarantee. He could control his libido, but he couldn't guarantee for how long. So soon he was out of that flat, the better. Cheap enough to get any way involved with a woman. Doubly so to get him away with a woman he had too much history with. That could get all kinds of messy. History with, yeah. Right. So, but the fact is, okay, you know, they're drinking together, they're talking together, and the spark is so there. Right. So this bit here, and this bit here, okay, is when Poppy's at like a work do at one of Isaac's bars, and Tim is there. Tim's a colleague. There you go. Right, this bit here, okay, and Isaac starts to feel jealous. Of course, here you go. Right, Tim is the only one that comes in. He comes out quickly. Right, right. Tim, this is Isaac, an old friend of my brother's. He owns this bar, plus he's my flatmate. Isaac, Tim stretched out his hand. Nice to meet you. Tim, there was no nice. There was, however, a tint of a glower. And why they gave her tingling feeling she didn't want to know. Tim's smile resurrected. Thanks to let us have the bar such short notice. And Nipper was very relieved. Hope I didn't put you out too much. Oh, good. Tim was polite too. Another tick. He leaned a little closer, territorial. She got a whiff of his not unpleasant cologne, saw his possible jaw in profile. Yes, it was nice. Her heart sank a little. Trouble was, Tim might be someone's perfect catch, but he was so far wasn't hers. There was no magic, no fission of electricity, no zinging. It is that's kind of interesting, okay? Because one minute you've got Poppy kind of lamenting her love life or lack of it. Suddenly Tim comes in. Tim's perfectly nice, by the way. No one's with Tim. But the fact is, okay, that Isaac shows, okay, his masculinity, and that's it. Poppy's gone. Okay, that's I don't know why I laugh reading that. I couldn't help it. I absolutely couldn't help it. Okay, right, right, right. And but one thing I did like in this bit here, okay, is the fact is that it's Poppy who propositions Isaac, not him. It's her. She starts to actually own her sexuality, kind of like Izzy before, okay, which is refreshing in a Mills and Boone. They actually own it. This bit here, right? Mhm. Right. A grown woman with a medical degree, and that's the best she could do. She needed to try harder, be honest, because she didn't want to have any kind of anything of a man wide open honesty. That she was sure about. How she just flipped off what clothes he had on. A bit more embarrassing. I want to sleep with you. Right. I kind of worked that out. He smile slipped. There was a lot of clues. Nice clues. Very nice. But do we get a say in this? Obviously. Oh, it's good to know. Right. So, yeah. Basically, to satisfy Poppy's needs, it happens. There's be no strings. This is, yeah, obviously. Okay. And the fact is, okay, that they're passed because um, Isaac knows something about Poppy, which I'm actually going to share here. Essentially, when they were at school, um, Poppy's teacher, um, he, yeah, you can guess, which broke Poppy. He groomed her, and um, Isaac is one of the few people who actually knows this. Okay, it's for here, right? I know you too well. I saw how that sleazeball used you, lied to you, broke you. The anger in Isaac's face and shadows and lines was almost as fresh now as it had been years ago. It scared her then, but she's pretty sure he was only concerned that he'd wasted an evening with his precious time. Or was there something else, a flicker of caring that he didn't want to own up to? She didn't want to think about it now, so focus instead on his voice. Right. But how, and this is what Isaac says, but how would it be any better than him, using you for sex? You're exactly the man to choose, you know me better than anyone, I know you don't want anything extra. I was all emotional and very bad. This time I know the score, I'll be honest. You think I want it to be like this, be a successful doctor, and yet fail the most important part of my life? Right. So, yeah, the kind of rules are laid. It's going to be no strings, it's going to satisfy each other's needs, but they're both very, very damaged. And Isaac straight away is taking on the protective role of, I don't want you to hurt you, Poppy. I know you've been hurt before, okay? Straight away, you know, okay, this is not no strings, obviously. But, obviously, it's London, it's Christmas, and I like the way the capital is described, it's not over-described. And the fact is that everybody knew. Right, everyone comes home early, okay? Izzy comes back, she's engaged, okay? Which is nice to read. Right, this bit here. Right. And with Isaac, it's the bit where she's chatting to the other girls, okay, to Izzy and so what's one I didn't read yet? Izzy and Tori. It's like Tori is engaged, not Izzy. Right. If Isaac she felt none of that, just wanted and close, touching someone after being so independent for so long, so lonely. Someone stroking their skin, someone wanted to make her happy. Right. The embarrassment was just directions to being caught out. It would be normal for her. Whatever feel happy about having sex. She had, 10 minutes ago she had. She felt reborn, alive and vibrant. Her jaw tightened down. It was also temporary. This feeling of absolute satisfaction was temporary. Isaac was temporary. Right. It's me from Tori. Pops, are you okay? I'll say I'm fine. It was just tonight. I mean, we've been skirting around each other for a few weeks now. Days, even. Try years. It's been bloody obvious to all of us, but neither of you seem to realise. I can't the number of times we just thought you would. You know, it was just a matter of time. Really? Your fault? Then this thing had been there all along? Right. It's been there all this time. All this time, okay? Right. So, everyone knew. Absolutely everyone knew. And it's interesting that they both have to deal with that. And actually deal with it in quite a mature manner, which is rare. Northern Boone. Actually enjoyed this. Well done, Louisa George. Right. This bit here. This is Isaac's point of view. For God's sake, this is about his mother issues, because he's got mother issues. For God's sake, you know damn well what happened. She traded one husband for another, then another, or she traded one family for another. Have you any idea how that feels when your mother prefers another kid to you? Hers up to be a paragon of bloody virtue, of a fresh start, a clean slate, treats you like you're a devil incarnate because you're an inconvenience, because you lost your way. Right. But in the end, Poppy basically says, go to your mum and speak to her and it's fine. And then ends with, a proposal. So, I liked this book. I like the start. I like the fact that it was over long. Basically, all of it was these two people just kind of going over what's in their heads. But I liked the character of Poppy. I liked the fact that she was successful in her career but lousy in her love life. It felt realistic. I liked the fact that it opened up of her just getting drunk to herself from like Bridget Jones all by myself. It's like that. I liked it felt very, very fresh. And I like the fact that these are two people with issues but they actually managed to work on them and they were honest. Something I liked about this book is that it was absolutely honest in its approach. So, more than Boone I actually liked. Louisa George, Enemies of Benefits. The reason I'm reviewing this book is that we're going straight into one she collaborated with by Georgia Toffolo, Meet Me London, which is going to be the next one. Okay, so, a novel with a very, very strong narrative voice. And now Meet Me London. Right, what is next? Okay, sign off here. 41 years of Mills and Boone. Bye now.